Hi everyone and welcome. I'm joined tonight by a former National League Riders champion, 2 times Championship Premier League Riders champion, British champion, Team GB rider, and also a former SGP rider. He's the second signing for the Workington Comets in 2024. It's Craig Cook. So thanks for joining me tonight, Craig. First of all, congratulations on signing for the Comets in 2024. Must feel good now that the worst kept British secret in British Speedway is out there and you're officially announced as a Comet. So how did this decision come about for you to join the Comets in 2024?
Pretty easy one, to be honest. Benji said to me, do you fancy coming to Workington? And, it's for me, it was about not only coming back to the club where I started, but it's a great opportunity, obviously the new track and everything that's going on there. It's exciting times for the Comets. So first year in the championship, so it was going to be good to be leading them in as the captain. And it wasn't a hard decision to make, to be honest. And everything was so easy. The deal was easy. It literally took 2 minutes to put everything together, and it was just like, yeah, no problem. There was no going back and forth or nothing. It was just so easy and no stress, which is important to me. So, obviously it cuts down on the travelling for me. It's just a win-win situation for me. If I've got anything to go and test, it's on my doorstep. Can use the track any day of the week. So it's just absolute no-brainer for me, and it's going to help me get back to the standard I know I can be.
Yeah, and like you did just mention there as well, also this season you are going to be the captain of the Comets for 2024. Is that a role that you're looking forward to for this season?
Yeah, obviously I had a bit of a stint there for the Monarchs as captain last year. I'm not a captain that puts a lot of pressure on anyone or gets everyone hyped up. I think it's important in a team to be composed. Some riders need G'd up now and again, but I think everybody's got to do their part. When you're in a good team, I've been in teams in the past before where all the riders do play their part, and I think that's important to not put pressure on the riders, or not to be outspoken or make myself a leader, because all the riders have to be leaders and do the part, and that's what makes a winning team.
Yeah, it certainly is, yeah. So as you said there, you've had past experience as a captain at Edinburgh, and then as you've said, you're going to be one of them leaders that's not like a shouty in your face sort of leader, a bit of a team game, because that's what Speedway is. At the end of the day, it's 7 lads who are all together aiming towards the same thing.
Well, it's important, there's probably riders that are going to be a bit more shy, and it's always important that they have their say as well, not to completely take control of everything. Everyone has to have their say and be part of it. And it's not. I've been in teams before where riders have been singled out and don't get the say, and top riders are always shouting. Not necessarily shouting, but taking power and taking control. And the teams that I've been in that have been the best have always been the more relaxed teams, and the teams that just go and have fun. I think once that intensity comes in a team, where I think it induces a lot of stress. So I think it's best way for me personally, I speak from my experience, is just let the riders all have the say. Everyone just has enjoyed it. Everyone's equal.
Yeah.
And like I say, everyone's got to do their role. So for me, it's just about giving people encouragement when they need it, and if they want, not forcing it on them. And if they want to ask a question, I'll always be there for them.
Yeah, that's good to hear. So moving on to 2024, how are you preparing for next season? Obviously now we're in winter and it's the off season, so what are you looking at doing?
Keeping away from the Christmas pudding was the first step. I've just been doing a lot of training since the end of the season. I've lost a stone in weight, so just keep ticking over. I'm still got a bit more to go, but I'm just working hard. It's something that I've neglected in the past few years, which obviously led to demise of my form. So I think it's important for me to hit the ground, take initiative and address my problems at the end of the season, and not wait until the new year or to the end of January, then just start running around like a headless chicken. So I think now the season was finished, I put a lot of things in order. We've done some testing there at the end of the season. Everything went well there, so we're getting some engines made and things done that I like. Ready to go testing again as soon as the track's ready, which is probably looking like the start of January now, if we get some dry weather. I don't think we're going to get any done over the Christmas period. So, yeah, just preparation, addressing the problems that affected me over the past few years, and move forward. Because for me, it's very frustrating riding, not necessarily riding, but everything in general of what I've done over the last few years just isn't up to standard, and I know that, and it's only me to blame, and I'm the one that's in control of it. But you know, like I said, it's obviously got the better of me, with the stress and the pressure of everything, and numerous other things going on. But hey, look, it's all behind me now. I've turned over a new leaf since the end of the season. Put my head down, lost a stone in weight, getting everything prepared, and yeah, I just want to go back out there and be the rider I can be, because it's very frustrating, because I feel like I've never ever reached my full potential. So it's always frustrating for me. So I just want to get back to somewhere near like I was, and then if we can improve on that after that, then that's all well and good. But I'm giving myself every fighting chance going into the new season, doing all the hard work now, and then what will be will be.
Yeah, and certainly I tell you, putting in the hard work as well. Obviously, you can notice on your social media you're spending quite a lot of time in the gym doing boxing sort of things. Does that help keep your mind sharp and everything as well?
Well, I love boxing. You know, it's a great form of activity for me. For me, obviously, I'm very hyperactive in my head, and I've got a lot of thoughts going on all the time. So it's very difficult for me to say just go for a run, because as soon as I start running, I'm always thinking about lots of things. So for me, when I go boxing, it's technically difficult, and you don't have time to think about what needs done or what's happened in the past or whatever. It's a mental break for me, so I enjoy going boxing. Clearly, it's a good escape for me, and also a great exercise, and you know, I love doing it as well. So anything that's technical and a challenge, I enjoy doing. I thrive on things that are technical, and you know, it's rewarding. You know, when you see the progress in me, and when you feel like I'm getting better and fitter, it's good feeling. So yeah, I love the boxing, and yeah, I'm not really doing any much other training, to be honest. Just my boxing and just a little bit of spinning at the gym. Just stretching and a few other bits and bobs.
I suppose boxing is quite similar to Speedway in a way. It's that really fast, high, intense concentration. Then you've got breaks in it, the way like Speedway works. So it's probably a really good way to spend the off season and get yourself mentally ready for next year.
Well, you know, you've got 2-minute rounds. I'll do 2-minute rounds of boxing, and you know, within that 2-minute rounds, it's full intensity, just as is Speedway when you're in a race. It's maximum intensity for that short period of time. So you get your heart rate up, and then you're exhausting yourself. So, but for me, I've never ever found Speedway hard. You know, I've never found it physically difficult. I've never felt out of breath. You've heard some riders talking about arm pump and things like that. It's never ever something I've ever suffered from. So, you know, I've always kept myself in decent shape. But yeah, just like I said, it's just something I enjoy doing. Yeah, it's actually helping me towards my goal for next year.
Yeah. So moving obviously away from the pre-season training, moving into like at the back end of last season, you had a bit of practice time down at Northside that you touched on before. What's your first impressions of the track down at Northside and the setup that we've got?
Fantastic. The track's unbelievable. I think it's going to produce some great racing. Like we did see some decent racing last year in the National League, so hopefully that we can provide a little bit more. The great thing is that, you've got Steve and Andrew down there doing the track, and they're very open guys and go to a lot of the tracks and just get on with it and race. So, but if there's anything we can do to input for the riders to give to Steve and Andrew, I'm sure they're more than happy to oblige to work with us and get things right. But the amount of effort that's already been put in there is phenomenal, and it's a true credit to the hard work that Steve, Andrew, and everyone else that's been down there putting the work in. It's I'm very, very blessed to have it on my doorstep.
Yeah, that's really good for you as well. Obviously, being on your doorstep and a track that's got no like curfews, no time restraints or anything, you can pretty much get in touch with Andrew and go for practice whenever you want, as long as the weather lets you.
Yeah, which isn't usually often in Cumbria, as you know. But yeah, I'm just looking forward to it. Like I say, I'm just so excited. It's like a weight off my shoulders. Even when we were testing down there, I've not felt like kind of right on the bike for a while, and just felt kind of uncomfortable. And we tested and played around with a few things, and we found something, and I was down there on the bike, and I just said to my dad, I just feel like I can ride the bike again. Everything just feels comfortable. I was sitting on the bike, and I was running up, touching the fence, and everything just felt silky smooth, which is a fantastic feeling. There's nothing worse when the bike's erratic and wanting to pick up and then spinning and then hitting stuff and then driving, taking off with you and uncontrollable. There's nothing worse. So to have found something close to what I'd not perfection, but definitely a step in the right direction. It's more almost like a relief. Because it's been a long time since I've felt comfortable on the bike or fully comfortable on the bike. I mean, even last year, I had some great scores, but I never ever really felt comfortable all year.
Yeah, so if we take a look back over your career, like obviously as I touched on at the start, you've been British champion, you were in the SGP series, you've been the Championship League Riders champion. What would you say for yourself personally has been the standout highlight of your career?
This is going to sound mental, but for me, there's no better feeling than I'll always say this. There's no better feeling when the bike's working well and you're racing well. And although I made the SGP and whatnot, I mean, when I went to Russia and I qualified in Russia, it didn't feel like a good meeting. Although I done well and it was great to do and it was exciting. I was kind of scratching my head at the end of the season, and I'd lost kind of, I don't know, the feel. I just felt kind of uncomfortable on the bike, and just couldn't get the setup right with the engines and stuff. So my highlight of my career was a meeting at Kings Lynn in 2017, and the bike was just on rails, and I was unbeatable. I scored 15-point max, and I was just holding lengths on everybody, and it just felt effortless. It wasn't even like I was trying, and it just the setup, and then for whatever reason that went away, and we just couldn't find it again. But like I said, I feel like I found something towards the end of the season there where I kind of got that feeling again. So for me, not having that feeling since 2017, 6 years without having that real comfortable feeling on the bike, and having that at the end of the year, that was it was almost it was quite emotional, to be honest, because for me, having that feeling where the bike is working and everything is just working perfect, and you can ride the bike how you want to ride it and not be tense and relaxed and just go and enjoy riding your bike. There's no better feeling.
Yeah, and like as you say, then being like all relaxed and everything, it is going to help you a lot this season as well. Being back at Workington, being around friends and family every week, being with your mates, sort of thing, like that's going to help you a lot this season because you can just chill out when you go to ride your bike.
Yeah, I think it's I've got a couple of mechanics this year who are going to come and help me. Dad's taken a bit of a back seat as well, so it's been very tough for him the last few years, where it's been too much for him, to be honest. And he's as stubborn as I am, and he always wants to be there. And it's got to the point where he's just become a bit too much, I think. And so yeah, I think this year with two new mechanics and a couple of young lads that are mad keen for it and are knowledgeable as well. So it allowed me to just get up and go test them when I want and just do what I want when I want, and without the stress of my dad being tired and stuff like that. So my dad's going to still do my engines and do bits and bobs, which is fantastic because he's done engines and built engines all his life, so he's very technically minded. So if something goes wrong or I want to change something changed, we can just come back here, change an engine, and then go back through it the next day or whatever. So yeah, it's exciting times, to be honest.
Yeah, so as you seen on Facebook the other day and Instagram, the Comets official page put on post asking for questions for you. So we're going to go through a few of them questions now from the fans. So there's a few questions that are a bit not about Speedway, but we'll go through some of them. So the first one was, what is your favourite ever moment on a Speedway bike? But you've kind of touched on that already, saying about Kings Lynn. Yeah. Do you have any other like standout moments?
There's been some great memories, I think the trips to Lanigo when I won the GP qualifier rounds in Lanigo and Terenzano, they were good memories. Not necessarily great meetings, but I think we come back from one of them and straight back to the British Championship, or we were away the day before the British Championship and going back and then winning the British Championship in 2017. That was great memories. I think it was 2017. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was 2017. Yeah. Will has asked, what is your favourite track to race at?
Favourite track to race at? I felt it's a tough one, I think Glasgow in 2019. I had some great races there. You look at the racing from Glasgow 2019. It was phenomenal racing all year. The track was in fantastic form. It allowed for you could run up the bank, cut back, and you just made some phenomenal racing all year. There was a highlight reel pretty much from every meeting. You could have a handful of races that were great races. So the Glasgow track in 2019 was phenomenal. Just some great racing, but that was on the old tyres. So I think when we changed the tyres, it kind of changed the job a little bit. But I kind of missed the old Derwent Park, to be honest. I was watching some videos there the other day, watching a video when I broke the track record there in 2017, and just watching that. It was just like, it was on rails. So, but it was a great feeling, the big long straights, and then just backing it in there into turn one. That was a fantastic feeling.
So following on from that as your best track, what would you say is your least favourite track?
Least favourite track? I don't know, to be honest. I go well at most tracks. So I don't think I really have a bad track, to be honest. I think Kings Lynn is a tough track to go to, just because it's so indifferent. Yeah. I mean, even though when I was a home rider, it was always difficult. Just the surface there, it's such a grippy surface. It's just it makes doesn't really make a dirt line. It always tends to be just that sticky surface all the way around it, and it tows you into the corner. And if your bike's a little bit aggressive and you're trying to race, it kind of makes it dangerous to get too close to anybody because it's so aggressive. The surface, it pulls you so hard. So you always, when you go to King's Lynn, you never feel like you're just floating on the track. You're always kind of fighting the bike and trying just basically hanging on. So King's Lynn would probably be one of the hardest tracks I've ever ridden.
Yeah, so Stephen has asked, what are your ambitions for this season? So we'll start off with your personal aims for this season.
Personal aims for the season is to get everything I can possibly do in order to the best I possibly can and do the best I possibly can. And I know if I get everything the way I want it and work hard and put in the hard work that I've neglected to do in the past, then everything will fall into place. I don't really have any ambitions. I know what I'm capable of, and like I say, if I get everything right and get everything done that I wanted to do, then you'll see the best out of me.
Yeah, and then from like a club point of view, as Andrew or Steve mentioned anything to you before, like you signed your contract, what their aims are for the club this season that you can share?
They're both pretty much as laid back as you can come, so they haven't really mentioned much. I mean, we've been speaking a bit with James about the riders and stuff like that, so things looking fantastic, and I'm really excited to be part of it. There's no, there's some great talent in the team. I can't really say too much, can I? So,
yeah.
But yeah, I'm really genuinely excited. I made it clear to Andrew I wasn't coming to just take part. I want to be part of a strong team, and that's what looks like it's going to be. Well, in my opinion, I think it's a very strong team. Few signings that go to raise a few eyebrows and get people talking and hopefully a bit of excitement. So, I'm excited. So hopefully everyone else is.
Good. I'm sure everyone is excited. So Ronan has asked, who was your favourite Speedway rider when you were growing up and getting into the sport?
It's a difficult one, because I didn't start till I was 21, so I didn't really have or look up to anyone before that. I always used to watch like the Screedy, and used to like watching Calco around Workington. I remember Thomas the Pinker coming there when we first started, and I always remember him wheeling down the back straight, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And so I didn't really have any idols, to be honest. I've got a few riders that I look up to and I admire. But yeah, I wouldn't really call any of them my idols, to be honest.
Yeah. So going on to obviously riders that you enjoyed watching sort of thing, who was your favourite rider to ride with, like your best teammate that you've ever had?
Sam Astor's, he was always, Sam's just so laid back and chilled, and like I said, he was part of the team in 2014, yeah, in Edinburgh, and it's just a nice relaxed atmosphere with him, and always chilled out, always laughing, just having a good time and having fun. And he's always been a good friend, always had time for me, and so he was always great to ride with as well on track. Always looking for you, and but when you needed to turn it on and you needed to stick it to someone, he'd be the hardest guy on the track. So he's the nicest guy you can meet, but he's one of the hardest guys on the track as well. So but yeah, he's probably one of my favourite teammates to ride with.
Well, Craig, your announcement has certainly got a lot of fans excited and ready for the Comets return to the Championship in 2024. Is there anything that you want to say to the fans?
No, just thank you very much for having me back. I'm looking forward to see you all next season. I'm sure you're going to love the team. I hope you do as much as I do. Hope you all have a great Christmas and New Year, and we'll see you next year.
Yeah, thanks very much, Craig, and all the best for 2024. And we can't wait to see you wearing the famous blue and white down at Northside next year.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.